Hey everyone, Kimberly here, and welcome to In the Know Wednesdays. Today I'm trying something new using IGTV to record, and I want to do this just to be able to give you more information and not have to jam everything in 60 seconds. So I hope you enjoy it. If you like it, please like it and share it. If you don't like it, give me comments, give me your feedback, let me know how we can better create this program to give you the best information in a short amount of time every week. This week, our team is discussing habits. And we're discussing habits, obviously, in the terms of real estate and how to better form habits for buyers and sellers. So a habit is a decision or an action that a person makes every single day. And throughout the days, they accumulate into a habit, which is going to be something that is either expected now to happen or more than likely going to occur because you are used to doing it. If you are preparing to get into real estate as a buyer or a seller, before you even get the classification as being a buyer or being the seller, you have to have had certain habits to get you there. So what are some good habits that I can take on if I want to become a buyer? The first good habit, obviously, is going to be saving. Again, a habit is an action that you take every day. So if I know I am going to purchase real estate, which is one of the most expensive purchases a person can make, and obviously purchasing is going to require funds, money, something along the lines as collateral, that means I should definitely start saving every day, even if it's a little bit, just to prepare myself for this large purchase that is coming my way. That is a great habit. It shouldn't be a surprise. A second good habit along the lines of saving is also limiting excessive spending. If I'm going to be purchasing something that is lucrative, that I can own for years, I can use value for, will just give me and open up so many more options and opportunities to myself, I want to get rid of or limit the amount of excessive spending that I'm going to be doing, again, to save that money so that I can use it towards my purchase, and it's just helping me prepare. Saving is the active step of putting money away. Not excessively spending is going to be the active step of not purchasing items so that I will have more to put away and save. So they kind of go hand in hand. The last thing that would be a great tip for a buyer and a great habit to achieve is to do research. So if I am going to be purchasing, even if, I purchase like a pair of shoes, I'm going to go online, I'm going to check to see, what is it made out of? What are other people's comments on pros and cons? And, can I try it out in the store? What is the return policy? I'm going to do all this other research to see and understand exactly the product that I'm getting. And as a buyer, you want to build that habit too. You don't just wake up one day and say, hey, I want to buy, and then just go out and do it. Maybe you do, but that's not typically the norm. You want to research, get your information, reach out to a specialist, reach out to a person who is in real estate, reach out to a mortgage lender, reach out to all these different avenues, go online, research something online, read a book, research and find out what is going on in the area that you're looking for. How does the process work? What questions do I have? And just get myself into good habits of becoming an owner and becoming a purchaser in real estate. Now for the bad habits. Again, if I am purchasing one of the most expensive things that a person can buy, what are some bad habits for me as a buyer? The first thing would be excessive spending. I'm spending my money on everything else around me instead of saving my money for purchasing a property, whether it's going to be my own home or I'm wanting to get an investment property, or even if it's a commercial space for my business. Maybe we should cut down on what you're doing during the week. Watch the extra lunches or coffees or shoes, whatever you like to purchase. Cut down on those excessive purchases so that you can prepare to save. Another bad habit is opening up lines of credit everywhere. So even if it's not cash and you're opening up a line of credit in that favorite store, in this store, on that online market, all these lines of credit are going to be used and are going to need to be verified by your mortgage lender. Also, if you're opening up additional lines of credit, normally you're going to be using those lines of credit, which means you're going to be taking on more debt. So you want to be careful with the amount of debt that you're taking on, especially if you're going to be purchasing a property which is going to come along with its own debt. So you want to make sure you are preparing yourself for that. And lastly, a bad habit of a buyer is having unrealistic goals. If you didn't do your research, you didn't save enough money, you excessively spent, but you want a 5-bedroom house, 4-bathroom, huge yard, pool, all the works, and you won't budge, that's not a good habit to have. Every day, you should be looking into what you actually need in your life, what your budget could actually get you. So this is where that research comes into play, preparing yourself for that every day so that when you actually find something that could work for you, fits in your budget, and gets you to your goal of ownership, you should capitalize on it. Just putting that out there. Let's talk about sellers. So for sellers, what are some good habits for sellers? One good habit for a seller is actually fixing up your house when something goes wrong. If you have something that's squeaking here and there, put some WD-40, whatever you need to fix that up. Get it going. Keep your house in good condition. And this is something that you should be doing every day if something is needed. Small little projects, get that done. Another good habit for sellers is keeping up the information and the receipts on maybe major upgrades that you've done in your house. This could be if you've gotten solar panels and maybe it's a lease, keep a copy of that lease information because maybe that could get transferred over to the new buyer, which could be a great tip and a great selling point for that new buyer. So you want to keep track of all the upgrades that you have been doing, keeping your paperwork together so that when it does come to the legal process of transferring the property from one owner to another, you have everything that you need. Another good habit for a seller is to make themselves accessible. If you are selling a property and you are still living at that property, you want to make sure the property is accessible to buyers. It's very difficult to have a buyer who maybe works 9 to 5 every day. Maybe they have their own things that they have to get to on the weekend. And as a seller, you're only giving them Thursdays between 3 and 4 to see a property. That's unrealistic, and you are setting yourself up for failure for not allowing the market to reach your property, see what's going on, and see if it's a possibility for them to actually purchase and move forward on. So definitely make it accessible, which on the flip side, a bad habit would obviously be not making yourself accessible. If you are a difficult seller, you don't want people in the property, maybe it's a drive-by only where you can only see the exterior of the property, you're not allowing the entire scope of the market to see what your property can do for them, to see if it's a possibility, which is going to limit the amount of offers or limit the number that your offer would be because it's just not accessible. So it makes it intangible for people to really see, does this property have the value that it's currently being listed at, and is it something that I even want to entertain? Another bad habit is running down your home as a seller. That means if something is going wrong, you have a leak, there's plumbing issues, there's drafts coming through the window, there's creaking in the floor, or any issues that you may see, obviously it's a bad habit to let those issues continue every day because they're just going to become worse. And a buyer is going to come into that house, they're going to see those leaks, they're going to see those cracks, and they're going to want to offer you a lower price because that stuff is going to have to get fixed. So let's be realistic on that. And if you see something that needs to get fixed, create a good habit and fix it. Lastly, same as having goals, a seller can also have unrealistic goals. Maybe your house you didn't keep it up. You didn't do what you needed to do. You are not giving access to this property, but yet you want top dollar. You want every last penny you can possibly get, and you also want to be the highest priced home in the area, and you want to sell yesterday. Just don't do it to yourself. Don't set yourself up for that failure. Just have realistic goals, listen to your professional, research, see what your competitors are doing, see what's going on, because what is going to make your property stand out from the 3 other properties on your block who are also selling, who have the same number of bedrooms and bathrooms? What makes you different? These are just some tips, some healthy habits to get you prepared and ready to get into the game. It's a great one. Ownership is definitely key. You have so many options available to you. Hopefully this was some good information, and I look forward to speaking with you guys next week.